Yo, what's good, y'all? Deepino here with another video on Workspace. Workspace is a really cool thing inside of Roblox. It's really the only thing that can hold 3D objects or 3D things rendered into the 3D world. It's one of many services inside of Roblox. What is a service? They're built-in add-on tool-like things inside of Roblox. They're usually from Roblox themselves. You could make a custom service using a script, but they add functionalities. Mainly three things I'm going to talk about Workspace. Things that are unique, things in its service, and things in its properties. It's unique with a service because it has terrain, which acts as a 3D renderer for all types of triangles instead of other meshes, and you can add on to it. If you delete the terrain object inside of Workspace, it can remove the terrain you've already placed down, but it won't actually delete the terrain object. It'll just remain there. It also has the camera as well. Workspace.current camera controls the server and the client side cameras. Workspace also has gravity, and it has a default. You can adjust that to some preset values in a script or in Roblox Studio. And also the new global wind properties are inside of it. Enhanced visuals with grass and also changing visuals overall. Not gonna lie, streaming enabled is a little difficult to explain, but it basically is how things are loaded and unloaded in the server or client to make it less laggy. Like, for instance, inside of Minecraft, you can load a chunk size, and depending on how far you walk, it won't load things outside of blocks too far, outside of the player's view. If this is disabled, it will almost force the players to load in everything at once, and that can cause much more lag. With service, Get Real Physics FPS is quite useful. Get Real FPS is useful, especially in this case I saw in the documentation. If you have a maximum frame rate that you allow your game to be at, an exploiter can try to edit the FPS to go even faster to try to gain speed or something else, but if you detect it on the server, you can kick the player immediately. This also could be good for frame rate dependent things such as an auto rotate type script, which is kind of like if you're moving to the left, you slowly move the player's torso to a side. The problem is you don't know how far to move the player and how fast unless you know the frame rate, because if you do the same rate for 1 FPS versus 1/20th of a second, the problem is you'll be doing 120 times the amount of turning that you would for the 1 second. So if you have this FPS, also run servers can show this, it will balance these out. Bulk Move 2 is really good as a way to move multiple parts in a non-laggy fashion. Raycast is like shooting a laser towards a part and seeing where it hits at. It's very useful for punching and fighting mechanics, but also for physical things with the player. Get part bounds in Box is one of many get part bounds functions that will be able to detect if something is inside of a certain box region. It's kind of like a hitbox. It's very useful for zones, or if you have cutscenes that need to be enabled. Get server time now shows the server time in a unit called Unix, which is a little confusing looking, but it's basically counting upwards the number of seconds from a point in time a long time ago. Insert point show when you click something in the toolbox, it will spawn at. Fallen parts destroy height between negative 50,000 and 50,000. Lets you decide how far something could fall down before the game destroys it. Fall height enable makes this so the fallen parts destroy height will actually work. If it's disabled, then it won't actually delete any parts. Get physics throttling, it gets the laggy parts inside of the game and gives you a percentage of how many of the parts are actually laggy. Blockcast is like Recast, except it shoots out a ginormous block. That's about it. It's just a quick overview. Some useful features.